Hi guys, and welcome back to Late to the Trend, because I'm old. This is the late video for week one. Should have posted it yesterday on Saturday, but maybe Sundays will be better because after the whole week of work plus Saturdays, I am exhausted. So maybe Sundays will be the days dedicated to filming these videos and editing and then posting. So look out for videos on Sundays. So this is just going to be a brief, 10-minute ramble on what I did on week one. So week one, Saturday. Saturday the 1st of January, I woke up and I weighed myself.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I've got a long way to go. I also measured my waist. Didn't do any other measurements because, to be fair, I don't care about any other measurements. I want to look good in my face and I want to have minimal fat around my belly because that's where the that's where the problems lie. Okay, so weighed and measured myself on the 1st. I then also had my last takeaway. Now I say last takeaway because I am going to try and go cold turkey on takeaways in terms of I'm not going to aim to get one a month or, on paydays or anything like that. It'll stick to special occasions. So for example, if I go down to see my parents and we go out for a meal, I'll have that. If it's my birthday, I'll have a takeaway. If I go out for dinner with people, anything like that. Saving money, tip 101, don't go out and you won't spend any, assuming you don't spend it all on crystals and takeaways. Ow. So one of the other things that I did was I gave myself permission to relax because I have been full-on stressed, working, worrying, dealing with shit in 2021, which started in 2020 as well. The pandemic, just money, my health, everything has been weighing on my mind. So hopefully by just giving myself permission to not do anything, that meant no housework, no going and seeing people, doing absolutely nothing. Giving myself permission, though, to do that. Giving yourself permission is much better than just simply relaxing when you do have other sorts of responsibilities to do. So yeah, I did try to be productive. So I had the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th off. So the 2nd was a Sunday, and I don't do anything. I usually work on Saturdays and obviously Mondays and Tuesdays. But Monday was the bank holiday, and Tuesday I took off specifically just so that I could have a break. Turned out on the Tuesday, I actually did more than over those 3 days. So that's good. At least I had those 3 days to relax. So yeah, Monday I tried to be a little bit productive. So Monday the 3rd, I tried to be a little bit productive. I put on a load of washing, I did the dishes, I tried to tidy my room a bit. Still got a little way to go. And this is part of my process of my fighting against my ADHD. Potential ADHD. I'm not going to say potential ADHD every single time I talk about ADHD. I've not been diagnosed, but I'm almost 100% sure I have ADHD. So I'll talk more about the ADHD in a minute. But yeah, I did a little bit on Monday. Then Tuesday, I had my booster shot for COVID. My original vaccines were the AstraZeneca, so I had the 1st and the 2nd vaccines were AstraZeneca. but the booster shot that they gave me was the Pfizer. Now, with Pfizer, I've never had it, so my body went into complete overdrive. The needle hurt going in. I didn't even feel that the needle had been taken out. It felt like it was still in there. It hurt almost instantly. It tingled, it hurt to raise my arm. I couldn't raise it more than this. And yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. And that night, I got an example of what it feels like to be aware that you are having a fever. Because I don't think I've ever really felt like what a fever was. Sometimes my temperature is a little bit higher than normal. But this time I was absolutely freezing, and part of my issue is I don't get cold. I don't get cold because I'm so fat. But yeah, I was freezing. Went to have a hot bath, which apparently is the worst thing that you can do. Keeping warm is the worst thing that you can do. But I refused to be cold, so I had a hot bath. I went to bed. I was freezing in bed. I had my cover over me. I had a blanket and I had my gown over me. So I had 3 layers and I was still shivering. And then the fever broke, and oh my God, I was drenched in sweat. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, I had to deal with that in the morning, being all hot, sweaty. Which was a great thing to do on my first day back at work in the new year. It was only 4 days, but still. So yeah, I didn't go into the office, and I sat there and still was freezing and then hot and sweaty. So I was having a fever while I was working. So that was fun. Thankfully, I seemed to get better by the end of the day. I was taking loads of painkillers that they suggest you do for the pain. And then my lymph node in my armpit hurt, like this one here. And it was so annoying. It felt like my white blood cells were having a party and they were over capacity. But yeah, that got better. It's much better today, Sunday, so less than a week later, and it's all fine. I'm good. I'm triple vaccinated now, so hopefully should be all okay. So yeah, so I mentioned that I went back to work. So I have 2 jobs. I work Monday to Friday for a pensions company, and on Saturdays I do house viewings and flat viewings for an estate agent, which is a little bit different, but it gets me out of the house at least and speaking to people that are not in the office or over Zoom, and it just gives me a little bit of extra money. It started off as something being to keep me from being bored over the weekends, and now I regret it because now I'm dependent on that money, but at least I get to put savings away, and it allowed me to get a few bits and pieces that I absolutely needed, like a new fridge. Stupid fridge. I can hear you humming. So yeah, so I went back to those, and yesterday was really busy in my in my second job that's meant to be relaxing. Right, a really frustrating story about my potential ADHD is that I have to be referred by my doctor to a specialist service. Now, in the UK, you get referred by your GP to a specialist service in their catchment area, I guess, or whatever they cover. So my GP comes under one council, but I come under another council. So what happened was my GP referred me to their council. That council said, she doesn't pay council tax to us. Refer them to the other council. So my GP referred them to the other council, and that council said, you don't come under our council, you can't refer them. But I said, well, what about my private medical insurance through my company? Oh yeah, we can do a referral letter for that, and then it doesn't matter where you go. Great. Called up the medical insurance company. They don't cover learning and development disabilities, so I can't use them, which means I can't go private, which means there is an 18-month wait period once you have been referred. Now, I was originally referred, I think, in September. So from September, October, November, December, 4 months, this has been going back and forth between the councils and my GP For my GP to finally phone me up on Thursday and say, we can't refer you, you are going to have to change GP surgeries. So needless to say, I was really, really frustrated, and my immediate reaction was to go online and try and order Domino's. Now, I only order Domino's if I have a voucher code and if it's going to cost less than £20 for my meal. And I know £20 is a lot. £20 for a personal pizza, 14 chicken wings, a tub of ice cream, one of those big dips, and a drink. £20. Now, obviously, I could go to a shop and get the same thing for like half the price, less than half the price, but it wouldn't be as satisfying. So, in the spirit of trying to save money, that's what I'm going to have to do going forwards. Like if I really, really want pizza or something like that, I'm going to have to go and get it from the shop or just not takeaway, because I can't justify spending 18 to 20 pounds every time. And I do it a lot, and it's my go-to comfort food, and I can't keep doing that. One of the goals is to save money, so that's what I have to do. And also eat well, of course. But I have to find a different way to deal with my stress. It can't be my go-to. The only thing that saved me was I could not find a voucher code that would take what I order down to below £20. So both a good thing and a bad thing. The bad thing was I had to deal with my stress by not really doing anything. It just passed. It passed eventually, and I was frustrated and annoyed that I couldn't get my Domino's, and I was frustrated and annoyed that I can't get referred yet. I asked around my area where there's a doctor surgery that comes under the council that I live in and paid council tax to. I've applied to them to hopefully start using them as my GP. But yeah, so that was my week. Obviously I procrastinated even making this video. This video should have been done on Saturdays, but I think I've decided now I'm going to just do them on Sundays when I have the scope to do them, because if I do them any other day of the week, I'm usually knackered. So that was my week this week. What did I learn? What did I learn? What was positive? So what was positive is I did weigh myself yesterday and this morning, and I have lost a bit of weight. It's easy to lose weight when you are in the beginning of a diet because your body's like, what's going on? What's good is I stuck to my calories, I've lost a little bit of weight, I'm feeling positive still. Bad things, what went wrong, my immediate go-to was Domino's for my stress. So I need to figure out different ways, different initial go-tos to deal with my stress. So yeah, that was week 1, and I'll see you in the next one.